Last Friday, we covered the basics of the 4% rule and how to calculate your personal safe spending number. Today, we go deeper because the 4% rule is just the starting point. The real question most retirees face is not what the rule says, but how to apply it in real life with real markets, real inflation, and a real portfolio that goes up and down.
Today, I am covering 5 advanced applications of safe withdrawal rate theory, the situations where the simple rule needs to be adjusted, and how to make those adjustments intelligently. These are the nuances that separate a good retirement income plan from a great one. These 5 situations apply to specific retirees. Situation 1, you are retiring early, before age 60. Situation 2, you are retiring late, after age 70. Situation 3, you have a large guaranteed income floor from Social Security and pension. Situation 4, you are in or near a high market valuation environment. Situation 5, you want to leave a legacy and not just sustain spending. Situation 1, early retirement before age 60. The standard 4% rule was designed for a 30-year retirement. If you retire at 55, you may need your portfolio to last 40 years. At 50, potentially 45 years. The math changes significantly with each decade of additional retirement length. The adjusted withdrawal rate for longer retirements. Research suggests approximately 3.3% for a 40-year retirement and approximately 3.0% for a 45-year retirement at similar success rates. Retiring at 50 on $800,000 with a 3% withdrawal rate generates only $24,000 per year. This is why most early retirees need significantly larger portfolios or significant supplemental income. 3 strategies specific to early retirees. 1. Plan for part-time or consulting income in early retirement years. Even $15,000 to $20,000 per year reduces portfolio withdrawal by a third or more. 2. Delay Social Security longer to maximize the inflation-adjusted guarantee that protects the later decades. 3. Build a larger Roth base to reduce future tax drag on withdrawals. The FIRE movement and withdrawal rate reality. Many in the financial independence retire early movement use a 4% rule with a 30-year assumption, even for 40-year retirements. Recent research suggests this creates meaningful shortfall risk. For very early retirements, before 55, many planners recommend 3 to 3.5% or significant supplemental income plans. Situation 2, retiring late, after age 70. The conventional wisdom says you need a large nest egg before you can retire, but retirees starting at 70 or 72 with a shorter expected retirement may be able to use a higher initial withdrawal rate than the standard 4%. Research suggests a 70-year-old can reasonably start at 4.5 to 5% withdrawal rate with a 90% probability of not depleting over 25 years. A 75-year-old can start at approximately 5 to 5.5% over 20 years. This is empowering for later retirees who worry they had not saved enough. The time horizon math works in their favor. The key qualifier for higher withdrawal rates at later ages: you must have significant guaranteed income that covers your essential expenses. If Social Security plus any pension covers your basic needs, your portfolio is supplementary, and a higher portfolio withdrawal rate is far less risky because essential expenses are covered regardless. Situation 3. You have a large guaranteed income floor, Social Security plus pension covering 80% or more of your spending needs. In this situation, the standard 4% rule may actually be too conservative. Your portfolio is not your primary income source. It is supplementary income for discretionary spending. The logic: if your guaranteed income already covers housing, food, healthcare, and utilities, a portfolio decline does not threaten your survival. You can afford to take more from the portfolio in good years and less in bad years, a naturally flexible strategy that can sustain a higher initial rate. Research by David Blanchett supports starting rates of 5 to 6% when guaranteed income covers essential needs. Practical application: if your combined Social Security and pension total $48,000 per year, and your annual spending is $60,000, your portfolio only needs to fund $12,000 per year. If your portfolio is $300,000, that is a 4% rate.
If it is $200,000, that is 6%. High, but defensible, because the other $48,000 is guaranteed forever.
Situation 4. High market valuations at the time you retire. This is one of the most debated topics in retirement research. The original 4% rule was derived from average historical valuations. When you retire into a high valuation market, expected future returns are statistically lower, which means the 4% rule is somewhat less reliable. The CAPE ratio, cyclically adjusted price-to-earnings ratio, is one way researchers measure overall market valuations. When the CAPE is significantly above its historical average of approximately 17, expected 10-year returns are historically lower. When above 30, which has happened in recent years, some researchers suggest reducing the initial withdrawal rate to 3.5% or adding a valuation-based adjustment. The practical response: do not try to time the market or dramatically change your plan based on valuations alone. Instead, if you are retiring into what appears to be a high valuation environment, consider 2 adjustments. 1. Start with a slightly lower initial withdrawal rate, 3.5 rather than 4%. 2. Maintain a larger than usual cash buffer, 2 years rather than 1. Situation 5. You want to leave a meaningful financial legacy to children, grandchildren, or charity. The standard 4% rule is optimized to not run out of money, not to maximize the estate you leave. If legacy is important to you, your withdrawal strategy needs to balance spending sustainability with wealth preservation. 3 withdrawal strategies designed for legacy preservation. 1. Use a lower initial rate, 3 to 3.5%, to leave a larger buffer for estate. 2. Use a total return approach that spends only dividends and interest without touching principal. 3. Use a floor and upside approach. Guaranteed income covers spending floor. Portfolio grows untouched for legacy. The Roth IRA as a legacy tool. Roth IRAs have no required minimum distributions. They can grow tax-free indefinitely during your lifetime. And inherited Roth IRAs provide 10 years of tax-free growth for beneficiaries. For legacy-focused retirees, a large Roth balance is one of the most valuable assets you can leave. It delivers tax-free income to heirs for a decade after your death. Now, let us compare 4 withdrawal methods that retirees use in practice. Not just the academic 4% rule, but the real approaches people implement. Method 1. The fixed percentage method. Withdraw a fixed percentage of your current portfolio value each year. Say 4% of whatever the portfolio is worth that year. Advantage: you can never deplete the portfolio completely because you always take a percentage of what remains. Disadvantage: your income fluctuates with market performance, which makes budgeting difficult. Method 2. The fixed dollar method, the original 4% rule approach. Take a fixed, inflation-adjusted dollar amount each year, regardless of portfolio performance. Advantage: predictable income for budgeting. Disadvantage: the portfolio can be depleted in severe long downturns because the dollar amount does not decline with the portfolio. Method 3. The proportional reduction method. Start with a target dollar amount. If the portfolio drops below a threshold, say 80% of starting value, reduce spending proportionally. If it recovers, restore spending. This is the guardrails approach from our last video. It balances income predictability with portfolio preservation through explicit rules. Method 4. Dynamic income linked to total return. Spend only the investment income the portfolio generates, dividends, interest, and distributions. Do not touch principal. This is conservative and may limit spending significantly in low-yield environments, but it protects the portfolio base completely and is psychologically satisfying for those who find spending principal uncomfortable. Which method is best? It depends on your priorities. If income predictability matters most, use the fixed dollar method with guardrails. If portfolio preservation matters most, use fixed percentage or total return. If flexibility is your preference, use dynamic linking. Most retirees end up using a hybrid, a target dollar amount with explicit rules for when to adjust up or down. Let me show you these 5 situations through 5 brief, real-world examples, one for each situation covered today. Early retirement. James, 52, plans to retire at 56 with $650,000. He uses a 3.3% initial rate, $21,450 per year from portfolio. He plans part-time consulting of $18,000 per year until 65.
At 65, Social Security adds $28,000. His income triple stacks. Consulting, then SS replaces consulting. Portfolio supplements both.
Late retirement. Barbara, 72, has $280,000 saved. Social Security of $2,100 per month covers all essentials. She uses a 5.5% portfolio rate, $15,400 per year from portfolio for travel and discretionary spending. Her essential expenses are fully covered by SS. The portfolio is pure discretionary. She can afford 5.5%.
Large guaranteed income. Robert and Helen, both 67. Combined SS, $52,000 plus pension, $24,000 equals $76,000 guaranteed. Annual spending, $85,000. Portfolio of $380,000 only needs to fund $9,000 per year, a 2.4% withdrawal rate. They are in an unusually strong position. They can afford to spend more freely or leave a significant legacy. High valuation environment. Michael, 64, retires in a year when market valuations are elevated. He adjusts from 4 to 3.7% initially and keeps a 2-year cash buffer of $72,000. His base portfolio of $975,000 generates $36,075 per year at 3.7%. This modest adjustment gives him meaningful protection against a poor early sequence of returns.
Legacy goal. Carol and Tom, 66. They want to leave their 2 children at least $400,000. They use a 3.5% initial rate from $820,000, $28,700 per year. Combined with Social Security of $44,000, they have $72,700 total income. They spend $66,000 and let the remaining $6,700 reinvest each year. Their portfolio is projected to grow to over $600,000 by age 85, even with withdrawals.
Let me give you the unified framework that brings all 5 situations together. Your personal withdrawal rate is not a fixed number. It is a starting point that gets adjusted based on your age at retirement, your guaranteed income coverage, your legacy goals, and the market environment when you retire. The adjustment matrix. Start at 4% as your base. Retire before 60, subtract 0.5 to 0.7%. Retire after 70, add 0.5 to 1%. Guaranteed income covers over 75% of needs, add 0.5 to 1%. High market valuations at retirement, subtract 0.3 to 0.5%. Significant legacy goal, subtract 0.5 to 0.7%. Example using the matrix. Linda, 67, has large Social Security plus pension covering 80% of needs, modest legacy goals, and retires in a moderate valuation environment. Start, 4%. Retire at 67, after 65, no age adjustment needed. Guaranteed income high, add 0.75%. Modest legacy, subtract 0.3%. Moderate valuations, no adjustment. Final rate, 4.45%. Your advanced withdrawal rate checklist. 5 questions to refine your personal number. Question 1. How old will you be when you retire? And what is your realistic retirement length? Under 60 means use 3 to 3.5%. Age 65 to 67 means 4% is a reasonable starting point. Over 70 means 4.5 to 5% may be defensible. Question 2. What percentage of your annual spending will be covered by guaranteed income, Social Security, pension, and annuity combined? If over 75%, add 0.5 to 1% to your rate. If under 50%, stay at or below 4%. Question 3. Do you have a meaningful legacy goal, a target dollar amount you want to leave? If yes, subtract 0.3 to 0.7% from your rate, or shift to a total return approach that preserves principal. Question 4. Are market valuations, as measured by the CAPE ratio, significantly above their historical average when you retire? If the CAPE is above 28 to 30, consider subtracting 0.3 to 0.5% as a valuation adjustment. Question 5. Do you have the psychological and practical flexibility to reduce spending by 5 to 10% in a significant market downturn? If yes, you can start slightly higher. If you have rigid fixed expenses that cannot be reduced, stay more conservative. If this video and our previous safe withdrawal rate video helped you build a more precise retirement spending framework, please share both with one person who is planning their retirement income. The 4% rule as a soundbite has misled as many people as it has helped. The nuanced version is what people actually need.
Drop a comment. Which of the 5 situations covered today applies most to your retirement? Early retirement? Late retirement? Large guaranteed income? High valuations concern? Or legacy goal? Your situation helps me understand who most needs this content.
Subscribe to Calm Money Retirement. Every Tuesday and Friday, one retirement topic explained carefully, clearly, and without pressure. This Friday, 8 things you should stop doing the moment you retire. The habits and spending patterns that hurt retirees most in year 1.
Disclaimer: this video is for educational purposes only and does not constitute personalized financial advice. Safe withdrawal rates, portfolio projections, and retirement income estimates involve uncertainty. The adjustment matrix and examples are illustrative only and may not apply to your situation. Please consult a licensed fee-only financial advisor for personalized retirement income planning. Calm Money Retirement is not a registered investment advisor.